Welcome to the CFG GameCast, episode number 110, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love, give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any podcast services out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Too much. I beat Lost in Random this week, which was really good. Loved the game. I started it over because I thought I screwed up. Turns out I didn't. I did almost 100% it. I think I got like 85 out of like all the achievements. I was missing a couple, which I wish I had seen the achievements prior because I could have totally knocked them out. But yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was a really good storyline. The ending was phenomenal. I kind of called it as to what like the end was gonna be, but there was like, you were right, but also, and you're like, oh, what? And it was so good. Like, it was one of those games where, like, you get a good amount of information. It's not overwhelming. It is a good amount of information, though. But it all ties in. It all seamlessly comes together, and it's just, I give that game a 10 out of 10, and I haven't given a game a 10 out of 10 this year. That was amazing. Opie watched the whole thing. She enjoyed it. It was cute, spooky, so kind of like Hocus Pocus level of spooky. There are some creepy characters. It's really fun. I enjoyed it. It was absolutely worth the money. I'm probably gonna play it again off stream, which that's huge. I don't play a lot of games off stream, so I'm gonna play it again.
Multiple endings or anything like that?
You know, I looked. I don't believe so. I am missing the last. Like you collect like a storybook page as you go along. I did miss the 10th storybook page. Well, now that I think of it, I can't. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I'll have to look. There's a few things that I missed, like the fighting style. You roll the dice, and the dice and the cards together are what power up your abilities, essentially. Yeah, so you roll the dice, and depending on what you roll, your cards pull up. And if you rolled like a 2, you can use a 2 card or 2 1 cards to like power up a sword, right? And so then you go around smacking the crap out of people, and then your little guy is running around, and you can send him off to like pick up these like orbs of light, but they're energy that power him up. And once he's powered up, your cards pop up on the bottom, and you can see what your deck is. It's really neat, and the gameplay style is awesome. I was told that I needed to play with the controller. I will tell you what, if you like keyboard and mouse, stick with it. I liked playing with keyboard and mouse better, but it was good. It was so good. I loved it.
That's awesome. Good deal. Well, that's awesome. That's good to hear that you definitely enjoyed it. But do you know
good.
Do you know who I wouldn't put my money on winning the Squid Game?
Oh, I know. The 5-star general.
The 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's going on, dude?
Yo, chillin'. It has been. I've gotten some good. So Thursday we streamed in Sound Mind, which I'm really enjoying. That's a psychological thriller. What's that?
I'm gonna play it. Don't.
I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna go into any details or anything like that. Yeah. I was like, wait, can you not hear me? Is my mic not up?
I was saying the same thing. I'm like, what's happening? I was like,
yeah. So I'm really enjoying that game, and again, I don't really play a lot of horror games, or even in that genre. I don't feel like it's just all out scary. I'm enjoying the puzzles, so it's a fun game. And then of course,
suspenseful?
Yeah, there's definitely some moments where you're just like, oh my goodness, like, get kind of freaked out and stuff like that.
I like that.
Yeah, but it's pretty heavy on like the puzzles and figuring things out. So yeah, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it a lot. So we started that, and yeah, we're playing that, and then I did some New World, and we did giveaways, celebrated the birthday a little bit yesterday.
Oh yeah, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, thank you. It was good. Just hung around. The Lizard also set up a little picnic in the backyard, and Corp Kitty made steaks, and we ate dinner out back and had a little fire and hung out. So it was really nice. And then I got the Bears game tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going hard in the paint on that. That's right. What about you, brother?
You got money down on that Bears game? You're gonna be
Nah, son.
Let me get this straight.
It's gonna probably be rough.
So you have like 5 fantasy football leagues, and you don't want to do a straight bet on when they're at home in Vegas?
They're not even in.
No.
I don't think you can because they're not in the same division, right?
You can still do a bet in Vegas.
You should be able to.